You trash.
Yes.
And were they right?
They were right. Like, you used to pray to me at night, something like that. It was like this one. Yes. You don't need people to tell you you're nice to something. You have to believe it for yourself first and foremost.
How were you able to deal with the grief of losing your mom?
Yeah. Saying I just let myself feel everything. Like, if I was mad at God, I let myself feel mad at God, and I like yelled at him.
Relationship. Yeah. Because if we just talking about sunshines and rainbows, we're not going to grow.
No, not at
we
all.
have to have deep conversations.
Yeah.
God, I expected you to come out this way,
Yeah.
but you didn't come out this way, and I am angry.
Yeah.
Welcome to Disciplined Lifestyles. I'm your host, Matthew Hinton, where our mission is to inspire people to live healthy. And I have a very special guest with us today, guys. This is my first musician, artist. I say musician, artist. Is that the same thing, or is that?
Musicians are artists, but not all artists are musicians.
That's tough. Anyway, but yeah, he just graduated college, just like my other guy TJ, and his music is fire too. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy.
Thank you for having me.
I feel bad. I didn't even say your last name. I don't know your last name.
It's okay. Harmon.
Harmon?
Yeah.
Jeremy Harmon, guys.
Yes.
Jeremy Harmon.
Though I go by, well, musically wise, I go by Cyrus Blue.
Cyrus Blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't have to call me that, right? Yeah.
Okay, so I guess I want to start off with I wanted to start off with your art.
Yeah.
So what got you into it? How did you know you were good? Just tell us about the beginning stages of it, and then we'll go from there.
I mean, as a kid, I was always like the creative kid, you know. Growing up, I did sports, but that was not my brother was good at sports. I was not, and I imagined that I was good at sports, but I got a crazy imagine. Like, I thought if I put on a certain pair of shoes, it would make me. I thought I was like Mike, you know what I'm saying? I was like, put on these shoes, I'm gonna run like the Flash. Like, I thought that, but no, I wasn't. So I drew a lot, and when I came into middle school, I started doing like musical theater and whatnot, and acting and whatnot. And so I was really into that for a while. And you know, I sang and whatever the case may be. I didn't like dancing. I didn't enjoy dancing. I didn't.
You didn't?
Well, musical theater dancing is different than dancing. You get me? You know what I'm saying? Like, musical theater dancing is like, it's box steps. I don't know. Like, it's
okay, yeah.
It's like it's not like you having fun. You don't have fun doing that.
I can see you doing that though. I can see you as like a backup dancer in like a hip hop. Like, I can see it. Well, fun. I see you. I can see you doing that.
That would be fun. Okay. But musical theater dancing is like very tight. Like, it's strict.
Poetic?
Yeah, it's not it's like strict. It's like restraining more so. Usually. Okay. Usually it's not as it's usually not all the time expressive. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop dance or whatever, like a jazz dance or whatever the case may be, is really like, at least the place where I did it was like, because they have like 100 kids, and so
you're from
Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond,
yeah,
Virginia.
804,
okay.
DMV. When the place that I did it, they'll have like 100 kids in the show, and most of them are like also obviously not leads, and so they're in the ensemble, and you have to teach them all the same dance choreographed. It's not like any like fun movements, you know what I'm saying? You ain't doing nothing. It's kind of strict. It's kind of like simple, restraining, strict stuff that 100 people can do, you know, and it looks good. So I enjoy it. But I did that, and about the time when I started making music, I started joking around making music in middle school. Like, I made like a Christian Hotline Bling remix, like whenever that came out.
Can we hear a snippet?
I think I said like, you used to pray to me at night, something like that. It was like something like that. Yeah. I don't remember. This is so long ago, but I remember. I think that was like I replaced the music talk, call whatever he says with that. But I was just like joking. I wasn't really taking it seriously. But I started taking it. I started really like committing to do it. You listen to J. Cole at all or anything?
Mm-hmm.
He dropped an album, I think 2017. or 2016. I think it was 2016. I don't remember. It was one of those years. Called For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I was like, I wasn't the best kid. I was probably in high school and somewhere in middle school. I was pretty troublesome.
Yeah.
And so I listened to that album, and like I just never felt like anything resonate with me more. Like it spoke to me very much so. Like in where I was, it's all the stuff that like I really needed to hear, and like I just was like, I remember like listening to it in my mom's car, like crying. And I was like, what the freak? That was like my first time. Like I think that was my first time really experiencing. Well, no, that's not true. But yeah, no, actually, I would say that's the first time me really experiencing music to that capacity. I have had experience with music, and like it's impacted me a lot before, but like to that level, it was like I didn't know it could do that like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I want to do this for people. Like I was like, I want to do this for people. So that's kind of how I started, and I was absolute, like I was crap at first. Like I was not good at all, bro. Like I was so bad. I would show my homies my songs, they would trash them. Like it was bad, like and like rightfully so to some degree because it was pretty bad. But I'm not a quitter. Like I wasn't like even like when it came to sports, like I saw like even though everyone knew I was bad, I saw myself as good. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came to basketball, I was bad. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna be an NBA player. I'm so good at this. Even though I wasn't practicing, I wasn't doing nothing. Not doing the drills. I would just go on the court, thinking I'm the biggest star on the court. Yeah. Probably because I was just the only black guy. So I was like, that's how it be. That is how it be. Right. Like I'm the only brother out here, so I gotta be nice. You know what I'm saying? Bro, all these Steve Nashes, bro. I'm Dwayne Wade. That's how I felt, and I wasn't nice. Like I was not good at all. Because Upward.
Yes.
So I did Upward, and they have like a policy that like every player has to score a basket like in the season and I hadn't scored a basket throughout the whole season. Like the whole season I hadn't scored one basket, and so they kept trying to get me to score a basket. But I would like they passed me the ball every time I miss I don't know what was going on. This is how my dad says. He's like, you would act like you make like you every time they give it, you'd be like, pass the ball to me, like you were gonna make it, and every time you miss. And so one time, and this is how I thought it happened in my head. I don't think this is actually how it happened. I think this is my childhood fantasy. I thought we were like down like by 5 seconds left on the clock. Oh my God. I'm running up the court, so it's dribbling. I'm like, pass me the ball. They pass it, I make it. You know, I think we won the game. I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm the best.
He is creative. He's creative. I can imagine. Okay, so this is young Jeremy.
This is very
so I imagine you with like drunk jersey, drunk shorts with a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that your type?
Yes. Yeah.
I know like how basketball, like how I can imagine like how a player just
like a white shirt under.
I definitely. Okay, so I want to go back though, because you said whenever you first started off, your homeboys basically told you were trash. Yeah. So how did you feel about that? And from now looking back to younger when you first started, were you trash? Yes. And were they right?
They were right. They definitely were right.
Okay.
Maybe they weren't right in the sense to discourage me from doing it. Okay. Like you could be trash at something, but if you're dedicated to it, you could become, you could be amazing. And so they're like, you just need to like quit. But I was like, I didn't think I was trash at the time. I thought I was good. And I think I saw even more so what I could do if I kept at it. You know what I'm saying? I saw the potential. I saw like if I'm writing 3 verses every day for the next, however many years, I'm gonna be as good as Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and da. Yeah. If I'm working on my pen, watching these videos, like I would stay up watching videos on how to write, on how to lyricism, wordplay, like rhythm, whatever the case may be. Like just trying to figure out like how.
Okay. Hold on. Because I don't want people to miss past what you're just explaining.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is your work ethic and what you put into, even though they said I'm trash, I'm going to put in the work.
Yeah, 100%.
And you've logged in some hours.
Yeah, 100%. I've been doing this. 100%. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old.
So I don't want them to skip past, because you can't be trash at something. Like,
Yeah.
first, you're going to start off, you're not going to be good.
No, few people when they start something are like automatically good at it. But I mean, obviously there are like prodigies who start off, but a lot of people you have to.
You have to work, and so if you want to become great at whatever craft you want to do, I mean, first you got to get over. Okay, yeah. Let me ask you that question. So, how were you able to get over the? Because for me, like starting this podcast, I still like the insecurity of like people gonna say I'm trash. I don't think I'm that good. Just different things like that stopped me. Definitely I was paralyzed by that and like didn't want to do anything outside of my comfort zone. What was it for you to get over that hump and like talk to people? Well, like tell people, hey, I do music, because I don't really go around telling people I do podcasts. If somebody tell me like, oh, you did YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm still like shy, like I don't want nobody to know. And so, how did you get over that, or like was that ever a thing for you, or like I don't know.
I'd say I got to answer, it was like a thing first, I guess. It was, but like I was saying, like my like I'm to some I'm kind of stubborn to some degree. When it comes to like I'm like I'm like a moldable stubborn, I'd say. Well, at least I've become more moldable stubborn. When I was a kid, I was probably like just stubborn. Now I like to say I'm moldable, so at least I hope. I'm afraid that I'm moldable. So, but though when it comes to something that I'm doing, like it's something that I'm passionate about. If I'm passionate about it, no one like if I'm gonna believe, I'm gonna be the like I'm gonna if I don't, like I have to believe it for myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people's troubles comes into that is when they try to. They're looking for validation from others to tell them that they're good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like they need someone else to tell them, hey, like you're doing the right thing. You're good at this. When you're like, hey, you don't need people to tell you that. Like Jesus' disciples told him he wasn't gonna die. You know what I'm saying? On the cross.
Okay. Can you re-say that? Because I want to make sure that people get it. We got to make sure that people get it.
You're right.
So go back. And start where you were. And re-say that whole thing. Just so I want the people to get that.
Of course. No, I don't know which camera.
This is your
one.
Yes.
You don't need people to tell you you're nice at something. You have to believe it for yourself first and foremost. If you can't believe it for yourself, like if you can't believe that for yourself, then like I'm not gonna say you shouldn't be doing it, but you gotta first do that before you even start doing it. You gotta be able to believe that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, this is what I'm capable of doing, and I can see. You have to have a vision to be able to see. I might not be where I want to be now, but I can get there by doing this, this, and this.
You better tell them. Talk to them, man. Talk to them, man.
But I'm sure that was the case, like with you, like I don't know. Actually, I don't know if that was the case, but like with basketball, like I'm sure you like you going to Spain. Like I don't know many people who played like that like that's pro basketball, right? And like I'm sure there's probably a lot of people who didn't who were like bro, what are you doing? You need to stay in the U.S. You need to You need to but have that vision. Be like, no, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, like you said, like I believe that there is a healthy stubbornness. Especially, maybe we just using the wrong word.
Yeah, you could be right.
We could just be using the wrong word.
Perseverance.
It's the perseverance. I think because even all because all the odds can be stacked against me, especially how I was for basketball. All the odds can be stacked against me. I'll be like, yeah, I still can do it. I'm definitely going to be able to do it. And I have that mindset, and I'm a work like I'm going to do it.
Facts.
And so I do believe if you're going to like what you was talking about, if you're going to do something great, if you're going to try to do something of some substance to impact people and do something outside of yourself or just do something that you're passionate about, you're going to have definitely a perseverance, a big drive. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, like a willpower, desire.
Yeah, that's good.
For that to happen. And on this journey, that is I would say that is a big part of like my thing of my growth of learning that like some of the things, even though like basketball didn't work out for me, some things I learned on the way along the way. And so I guess going back to your case, what would you say? So I guess it developed when you were like a kid, whenever you was you were doing like acting and all that, because like you were always in front of people regardless. Yeah. Because I don't know, like I know for me, like it's developed because like what I was saying with the YouTube and stuff. So like, I guess it was always in you.
Just like to.
That was always
that was always in me. If I was when it came to sports, I was back like in elementary school. And I realized like if I had like a passion for sports, like if I genuinely had a passion, I wouldn't be successful, but I'd probably still be trying to do it to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I did, I don't know if I'd still be trying, but you know what I'm saying. I'd probably still at least I'll be playing, somewhere. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm just like or working it or something like that. I don't know. But I realized that wasn't what I was passionate about. And so I was like, okay, that's not it for me, even though I thought I was the best at it. And I was like, that's not it for me. And so then I started doing theater. And like I first like I think also what helps is like when you get some like in the beginning, even if like one person gives you like a tiny bit of like gratification or like encouragement in it, like that can be enough to carry you for years. Like this one person. Like sometimes just having one person who's like, no, you can do this if you just work hard in it is enough. Because I got into I did audition for my first thing, and the first thing I didn't get a lead, but I had lines in for my first play or the first musical I did. It was the first thing I auditioned for, so I was like, oh, I'm good. Like I'm just starting this. Yeah. And I already got like, let's see how far I can go. You know what I'm saying? And at that time I was like, I'm gonna be on Broadway. I'm gonna be this, boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna do all this. You see me like da 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 da. I'm gonna do all that just because like that small thing. I was like, oh, this is the beginning. I already got lines. Like, give me 10 years. Like you're gonna see where I'm gonna be. And then I was like, okay, that's like I enjoyed doing that. High school was like that's not really like. That's cool, and I like acting, and I think that's I enjoy doing that, but that's not really where my passion lies. But when it came to music, that's really when I found, and other things I found even more along the way, where my passion lies, and like where my heart behind it, why my heart like gravitates to those things over the other thing, because I think sharing your story or sharing like through music is really, if it's done correctly, it's a thing that can bring people together and make people feel comforted. I think one of the things that I love about Jesus the most is like how he comforted people. Obviously he would correct people too, but like he would first comfort them a lot of the times. And I think music has the ability to be the comforter. Obviously some people need to be the correctors, and I that's what I enjoy doing, and I think that's why I stuck with it, because you can tell stories, you can tell your own story, people can relate to it, be like, dang, I'm not alone in this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, acting and you started music. Did you, because like, I don't think do you still act?
No, but I came into ORU with majoring in acting, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my first semester I did, which God told me not to do it, but it was a stubbornness. I was like, what do you mean? I was like, bro, I've been thinking of doing this since I was in middle school. I was like, I'm going to do this. What are you talking about? I was like, I know it's ORU, and I get it. It's ORU, but ORU's not the best place to get an acting degree from. Obviously, I don't think anyone will be offended with me saying that. But shouldn't. Not saying it's not valid, but there's obviously other places you can go. Yeah, that you will have better chances. And so I was like, it don't matter if it's from OAU. I'm still gonna I'll get it and I'll go because I'm just that guy. That's in my brain. That's what I thought. But I realized doing it, I was like, I don't feel like there's anything. I don't feel like there's anything more I want to learn from this. Like I feel like everything that I've gained, not like the things that I really wanted to gain from this, I gained in high school, and I don't think I need to bring this with me into my next chapter, into my college experience. I feel like I'll be holding on to something. Oh wow. That is from the past that I needed to let go of. So I changed my major, and I was like, I feel like what it was also was. I was like, I can pick another major and I can gain a skill in something completely new, and not that I wouldn't have gained more in acting, but I was like, I'm fine with where I am, and I was like, but there's other places that I want to grow in that I'm like very low, that I can major in that and like grow exponentially.
Okay, so I want to go to you saying you transitioned, you were able to be okay. So how was that transition? Because like I know for me, it was a tug of war with God, basically with basketball. Like he was trying to shut it. He was going to shut the door, and I'm still trying to find another door that I can try to open. How was yours with acting?
I think because I already knew the other door. Like I already knew. I think because I was still doing so because I already by this time my main focus was music. Like even when I came to ORU, my main focus was find someone to do music with, and like God opened doors for that. And so I think because he was opening doors in other areas, it was easier for me to like close this door because I'm like, okay, I see this. Like, okay, you want me to close this door? I can see why because I see this other door. Okay. Which a lot of times isn't the case. A lot of times God just tells you to close the door and he doesn't show you the other door right away. So I was lucky in that regard that he showed me that he already was showing me another door before he was like asking me to close that door. But there are plenty of times where he's gonna just tell you to close that door and you just gotta close it in faith and like wait to see another door, whatever the case may be.
Okay, so you did say too that like you gained all that you felt like you needed to or like wanted to for acting. Yeah. What are some of the things that were transferable from acting to your music?
Okay. So I was having a conversation with a homie who's trying to rap a few days ago. I was telling him when it comes to at least rapping, which I do more than just rapping, but when it comes to rapping or any song, anytime, you have to act to a certain degree. Like when you're delivering, like you're not necessarily you're playing a character, but you, like if you just deliver the lines in like a stale like voice, people aren't gonna be entertaining. The emotions aren't gonna hit them. So you have to, like if you're making an aggressive song, you have to be aggressive. If you're making a sad song, you have to be more mellow and like passive or whatever the case may be. So it's I think I was literally thinking about this today. I think Kendrick Lamar does a great, I don't know if he acted or whatever, I don't think he did, but he does a great job in his songs of like acting like with his voice. He has great vocal.
You said who? I'm sorry, we had somebody in the room. I'm sorry guys. We was doing a podcast and I'm sorry. This is my fault. My fault.
Yeah, Drake don't know nothing about that, but it's okay.
Drake's supreme.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll lock it back in. Let me lock back in. Let me lock back into the podcast. I'm sorry.
No, that's hilarious. No, but Kendrick's great. Kendrick's great. Like he does so many different voices, and he like does like he has very good vocal control over his voice of like changing the pitch or like he has a great dynamic voice when it comes to rapping. I don't think he has a good singing voice, but when it comes to rapping, his voice is great, like very impressive. So I think that's kind of one skill in terms of how acting transferable. I was able to, when I was writing about something, I was able to put like the emotion, like it was a play. Like I was like when you're singing, like in a musical, you gotta sing with your emotion. Like you're acting it out. You're still acting and you're singing. So it's basically the same thing. I'd say that's a skill. I don't know if there's any. I mean, I think maybe I'm trying to think if there'd probably be. I don't know. I think that's probably the main one.
The main one?
Yeah, I mean, maybe in like life, I think acting helped me be more in touch with my emotions than other people's emotions. Like you can understand, like especially when you're learning a character that might not be likable or like is the villain. Like you're able to empathize. You have to empathize with that character to some degree.
I actually want to go down this path. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
So you said you're more in tune with your emotions. Yeah. How do you feel that helped you?
And just in general?
In general, yeah.
Man, I think if everyone was like emotionally intelligent to a degree, I think that's a big problem, especially in like men today. Yep. And I don't want to say especially in black men, but I'll just say men in general. But I think a lot of men aren't taught well, especially growing up, how to handle their emotions, how to communicate how they feel. So a lot of times, which was me in high school, and middle school, and maybe a little bit in college, I would just shove it down, put it in a box, and like suppress that, and then it would blow up in another way, in another area, where if I like dealt with it sooner, it would never have gotten that far. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think learning how to control your emotions, not let your emotions govern you, but also feel your emotions. Because I think there are three. I'm no expert, obviously. But I think the things that I found important is letting yourself feel their emotions, because I think a lot of times we think emotions are bad. If I'm mad, that's bad. If I'm sad, that's bad. When it's not bad. Now, maybe something that you want to do out of that anger or out of that sadness, that is bad. But you just feeling that isn't bad. Now you just need to learn how to feel it correctly. You know what I'm saying? So then that comes in with the controlling your emotions, not letting them dictate what you do. And I think those, like learning how to feel well, like feel your emotions, let yourself just feel them, and like be comfortable being sad or being mad, and expressing that, expressing that in a healthy way, whether that's working out, going on a run, or whatever you do that's healthy to help you cope with that or handle that emotion or heal. And then controlling it is not letting it, dictate your life.
Yeah, because I wanted you to speak on it, because I lately have been starting to doing soul work, because I've seen I needed to become more self-aware, and in my self-awareness, I'm able to know my emotions and be able to see others in their emotions, because with talking with people, sometimes somebody might just try to some people might be angry at you, and you're not even the reason that they're angry. It's from backed up issues that they've had to dealt with, but they never dealt with them, and so it just spills out on you.
100%.
And so I wanted you to talk about that, because definitely I feel like that is a problem, especially with men, because we're told, be strong, be a man. Yeah. Don't cry, don't show no emotion. Yeah. And then all you gonna get is angry boys.
Yeah, 100. That's really good. That's especially the boy part.
They never got their way. They never was able to show their emotions. Yeah. So now I gotta fight. Now I gotta I'm gonna go get it myself. And I ain't gonna let nobody stop me.
And I ain't gonna ask for no help.
And I ain't asking for no help. I can get it on my own.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this, you talking about that was definitely helpful with helping us understand it's not bad to have emotions. God gave us emotions for a reason.
Exactly.
Emotions are just indicators.
100%. Yeah.
Because the Bible says, "Be angry and sin not."
Yeah. Bars.
So, if the Bible literally just said, "I can be angry, just don't do nothing that is sin with my anger."
Yeah, 100%.
And so, when I see that, I'm like, okay, emotions aren't bad, because all they're just telling me is, okay, this is making me feel some type of way. Why is this making me? This is when I need to think, okay, why is this making me feel this type of way?
Yeah.
What is causing this? What is triggering me?
Yeah.
In feeling this way, so I can either, if it's not a problem, then okay, I'm just feeling this type of way. Yeah. But if there is a problem, if it's okay, he got this and I feel jealous. Okay, why do I feel jealous?
Yeah, 100%. That's really
and so I'm glad you talked about that. I'm glad you said it, because I wanted you to bring it up and you talk to us about it. Yeah. Because I feel like it's definitely helpful. Yeah. With that. And so we're going back to music. So have you put out any albums lately? Yeah. What is going on with you?
So I used to go by Tabos, Thabos, and it's the South African name for one who's never without joy. Oh. So I started calling myself when I was 16, all the way till I was 22, the end of last year. And I felt that I needed to put that name to rest. One, because I ain't even South African. So, so I was like, I ain't even South African. I honestly stole it from a cousin who was South African, and his name was Thomas. And I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna take that. And I was 16, so I didn't think, which I mean, I don't think it's necessarily wrong, but I just was like, I didn't feel like, I was like, I need to get something that's my own, that's fully my own. That one, and I just felt like I was growing out of that. Like I feel like I'm like, yes, I want to be someone who's never without joy, but I want to be. There's more that I wanted to explore than just someone who's never without joy. And I think there's a better name that could fit that or whatever I wanted to express or be. But the last album I put out was early last year, January. It was in January last year, and it was called Afraid to Resurface. And it was an album. Speaking of emotions, an album going through the stages of grief. So it was like it was about my mom passed away 2022. And so that album, I wish low-key was working on it a little bit beforehand. I was coming up with the story before she passed away, but her passing away kind of like changed it a little bit, but also like it gave more meaning to the project that I was already like concepting. And so I was going through the stages of grief, which are denial, anger, bargaining, sadness, depression, and then acceptance. And so I wrote it kind of as a story of a character who also like lost his mom and kind of just went through a journey first of like denying it or trying to cover it up or like cope with it like through women or through drugs or whatever the case may be, and then through anger of like being mad at God and like asking like, God, why did you do this? And then through bargaining and like trying to get God to bring her back or bring him to her, like if you won't bring her here, then like take me, Lord, like I want to, like I'm done with this, I would rather be up there. And then depression of like asking God like obviously I'm just being sad about it, and then accepting this is what it's going to be, and this is God, still being able to see God in this situation and move forward and move past it and like not forgive, be able, even though God didn't do anything wrong, but still being able to forgive him, you know what I'm saying? Because even though he didn't, obviously he did it, like it was not his fault, but sometimes you're mad at God and you have to like I feel like I know this isn't you, and like let it go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if forgiveness necessarily is the right word because he didn't do anything wrong, but you get what I'm saying. And that was a hefty thing to work on. And that like I wrote like that was over a year's worth of work, and that was the last thing I really put out is Tabos, and then I changed my name to Cyrus Blue, and I just released a song like 2 weeks ago, I think, called Fallen Angel. Okay. And it's pretty sonically different from most things that I put out as Tabos. I'm not rapping it on it at all. So yeah.
If you don't want to talk about it, then I just feel like it could help people with like how did you deal, like I know you use like music and stuff, but like how were you able to deal with the grief of losing your mom and stuff? Because I know that is definitely a hard thing to get over or to even just go through life without that, because you've been with her your whole life.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So she died from cancer, and so we knew she had cancer for about since I was like 16, 17, I think 17. And she was supposed to. It's honestly a miracle because she was supposed to die a year later, but she ended up living for 5 more years. So like that's a glory be to God. I had her for 5 more years when she was supposed to die a year after, less than a year from being diagnosed. But how I like got over it, or I'd say got through it more so. I think kind of what we're saying, I just let myself feel everything. Like if I was mad at God, I let myself feel mad at God, and I like yelled at him. To be honest, like I just yelled. I'd be like, God, like why, like what, like explain this. Like in one of the songs that I have on the album is called "Birds in the Sky." And the verse in the Bible where God, Jesus is saying like, you see the birds in the sky, like I care for them, how much more so I do for you. And basically in the song I'm asking, like, you say you care for the birds in the sky, but I like see them dead on the street. You know what I'm saying? So like if that's true, like how do you, like how, like I see them dead, and so do you really care for us? And like asking him these questions, and it's so funny because I would say these things, and then like for 3 weeks straight, there would be a bird that was right outside my window every morning. It would wake me up. It would like bang on my window, and I'll be like, bruh, and like I'd be like, bro, like just reminding these like, I got you, like I think that's kind of really funny, bro.
That is crazy.
And I'll just be out there, perched on my windowsill every morning, and how I really just like. I don't know. I think it was just letting, for a while, I feel like a lot of times we don't want to talk about like stuff that might be like traumatic or like cause you a lot of pain because you're scared of people view, like we were talking about men's fears, people viewing you as weak or having pity on you or da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? You want to seem strong, you want to seem like you're got it all together. And honestly, I just, for the most part, I tried to like bump all that and like, I'm just gonna, if I'm sad, I'm just gonna be sad and I'm just gonna express it. If I feel like talking about my mom, I'm just gonna like I'm just gonna talk like I'm just gonna express how I feel in front of people and like try to, and I didn't always do it the best. I always didn't do it well or the best way. Like there were plenty of times where I coped in a terrible way. Yeah. But I tried my best to like just wear that scar on my on my arm or my heart or whatever the case may be, and let people see it and let the community around me like comfort me and heal me. So it's really just like the people, my family, my friends who are around me, who help me like, and God obviously, who helped me get through that. Or like, you know, obviously it's not like it doesn't sometimes like still sting, but you know, I'm able to probably like when it like obviously when it first happened, I want to be able to have this conversation without like crying, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm able to like, I can see that like God's gonna use it. I have hope, you know what I'm saying, of being able to like, even though this happened, I can still, and this sucks, and you know, this is something that's terrible, I can still have hope for the future, and I can still have hope that, you know, God, like he says, he's gonna turn around for good in some way. And even though I can't see how that's gonna happen, even though like in my mind, like I don't know how you turn my mom's death into something positive, but I'm gonna believe that's what your word says. I'm gonna believe that somehow, somewhere, some way you're gonna turn this situation in my life for good, and I'm gonna put my hope in that, and I'm gonna invest in that emotion, or invest in that over the investing in the feelings that, you know, my life's going nowhere. I'm just gonna be a bum now that my mom's gone. Like I'm gonna like, you know, and stop investing in that, investing in other thing.
So first, I want to thank you for even being open and being vulnerable and giving us this gift, because that's not easy to talk about. That's not easy to just put out there. Yeah. And so first, just thank you. And then second, I'm glad you brought up that you were angry with God. Because I think that like growing up, especially, like we like are taught like definitely like you better not be angry. You better not question God. God is God, and you better just be like, okay, and just suppress your emotions. Don't worry about, God is sovereign and God is and we don't ever understand that. You first tell us we accept Jesus, we come to a relationship, and then tell us that, okay, even though you're in a relationship, don't do nothing in it. And so in learning relationships, just in general, I've learned that you're going to have emotion, and if you don't express those emotions, if you don't express anything, you're just going to suppress all the emotions, all your anger, all different things, and you're going to turn resentment. You're going to resent that person or God because you didn't tell them your expectation or tell them whatever happened. 100%. And so I learned that like, God is, first of all, God is bigger than my emotion.
Yeah, 100%. He ain't gonna be offended.
He's not gonna be offended at me being angry.
Yep, no, not at all.
He gave me anger.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he will be offended at me being angry. Yeah. And so in learning to express that, to go to God, like God wants us to go to him.
Yeah, 100%.
If God wants me to go to him to express my emotion, to grow in our relationship, first of all, that's one of the ways to grow in a relationship. You actually have real conversations.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I can't have fake conversation with you all the time and expect to grow a relationship.
Yeah.
Because if we just talk about sunshines and rainbows, we're not going to grow.
No, not at
We
all.
have to have deep conversations.
Yeah.
God, I expected you to come out this way,
Yeah.
but you didn't come out this way, and I am angry.
Yeah.
And God is not going to be like, you angry with me? Oh, I forget you? Like,
Yeah.
is that like, what do we, like,
Some people think that though.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like we're taught that, like,
Yeah.
I will say, like, I was taught that, not necessarily by my parents, but just like by like church,
yeah.
just environment in general. And so like, I want to just, first of all, commend you by ever just being open to just even saying that, especially open, like on YouTube, because like
They don't know.
even though like they don't like, even though this is not like all the views and stuff, it's like it's still the internet and stuff. And so like, first I want to thank you for that, because like it's definitely like, it shows, first of all, it shows maturity, because it shows you're maturing in your relationship with God, because you're able to go to him in your anger. Would I rather you go to God in your anger or go to a prostitute? I don't know. Like, what do you want me to do with this? Because this anger is gonna be here regardless.
It's gonna have to get out sometime.
It's going to come out.
Yeah.
So, do you want me to go to God?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to go here?
Yeah.
Do you want me to go to weed? Do you want me to go to women? Do you want me? What do you want me to go to instead of?
Someone, you know,
Yeah, like, do you want me to go kill somebody
Yeah,
because
right.
I'm angry? Like,
Yeah.
what do you want me to do with this anger? Because it's here.
Yeah. It's like the same thing like with lust.
Yeah.
People don't want you they don't want you to express that.
Exactly.
Like go to like the best times whenever I'm dealing with lust is like talking to God, be like, God, I'm feeling very lustful right now, Lord. Like I really want to do boom 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 with this person.
Yes.
Or I want to boom boom boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and feeling that and being like expressing that to God, and like God come there and be like you know, and comfort that and like and be like, okay, like let's work through this, let's like figure that out. So just expressing it. A lot of times just expressing it is enough.
Facts.
That's like sometimes all you need to do, and then you'll be like, dang, I don't feel that anymore. Like I said this to God, and he like is gone. And I'm not gonna say that's all the time, but a lot of the time, like every time I've done it, it helps. It's helped tremendously.
And I can actually tell you why it helps, because I live by this scripture. It's 1 John 1:5. It says like, God is light, in him there is no darkness at all. If we say we love God yet hate a brother, we lie. But if we walk in the light as he's in the light, we have fellowship with the Father and with his Son as well. I just butchered the middle part, but the front part, and we have fellowship with God and with the light, that is in there. Yeah. But I might have butchered the second part. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. But the main parts, God is light, in him there's no darkness, that is in there. And we have fellowship with him if we walk in the light. So you just turned on the lights.
Yeah, smart. That's
when you say it out loud,
that makes sense.
and when you put something in the light, when you put a turkey in the oven that's been cold, and it heats up, it shrinks because all the water comes out. And so what happens when you expose something? It makes it smaller. And so it's not as big as it is. And so it's like, even with me, because like I go to the gym, I go to Vasa, and I literally have to pray to God every time. I say, God, please, these women you created look good. Like, please, please, Lord, like I need you.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I need you.
Yeah.
You know what you created.
Yeah.
And so I have to go in there because I'm like, Lord, and then once it even starts to come, like the lust is about to like creep up and like, oh, she look good. Lord, please, like, help me. Help me. Yeah. like Kevin Hart meme. But when you express it, when you expose it, it shrinks the problem. And then that's also magnifying God. Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let's exalt his name together. Yeah. And once you magnify, you put God in it, your problem becomes smaller.
Yeah, that's so true.
And so
That's fire.
I ain't gonna lie, Jeremy, you just blessed my whole soul. I didn't even know that was in me.
That was fine. No, you were spitting.
You blessed my whole soul with this pod. We definitely have to get. I have to get him back on the pod. We definitely have to get another pod with you, bro. So, are you living in Tulsa? Like, what are the plans?
I'm gonna get.
What are the plans?
I'm gonna get here till around June 15. At least that's the plan at the moment. And then I'm going back to Virginia, and then I'm gonna move. Unless God tells me something different. Yeah. As soon as I get a job, I'm gonna move to LA.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So I'm planning to move out there. I don't know what God has for me out there fully. I don't know what the vision is for at least maybe I don't know what it is. But I'm just gonna take that step of faith. It's really scary, honestly. Yeah. I'm very scared about it. One, just because the environment out there is so different. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Talking about the women. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I'm concerned. There's a song by artist Montel Fish. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's made Christian music in the past, and he has a song called Lost, and he's like, Lord, I don't want to be lost. I don't want to be that. And I've been that's been my song of the year. I'm like, God, I'm gonna I'm following you, and I'm following you. I'm gonna follow you, but this is a scary area. This is this is, to me at least, it's not Jonah, Jonah. Yeah, I said the right name first time. Jonah going into Nineveh. That's how it feels to me. This is which obviously there's plenty of Christians there. I'm not saying everyone in LA is a heathen, whatever the case may be, whatever, they all bad people. But it's just compared to Tulsa environment, the Bible Belt, to LA, a little different, and also money and whatever the case may be, which also will be stressors, and not knowing anybody. You know what I'm saying? So, or not knowing too many people. So I'm concerned in that, but if God's telling me to do this, I know He has a plan, and it's all gonna work out. So I'm trusting You, and if You want me out there, that means that I'm gonna be all right at the end of the day, or I'm gonna be still following You at the end of the day, because I don't. You want to lead me to something that's gonna have me shun You. You know what I'm saying? So it's scary, but I guess just having faith in His plans, His ways.
That is how it goes. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I guess I have not been listening to Christian music a lot. I did not know he was going to Montel Fish. I don't even know who Montel Fish is. I'm thinking he was about to say The Weeknd, Escape from LA. I need to renew my mind. I'm sorry.
He doesn't really make Christian music anymore, but he had in the past.
Yeah, so, but we hope and pray that everything goes smoothly out there for you and you don't have any hiccups. And so, where can they find you?
This one. Yeah, that one. Instagram under Cyrus Blue, but without the U and Cyrus, because that name was already taken. It's not because I spelled it wrong. Some people think I just don't know how to spell Cyrus Blue. It's just because I didn't want to have the dot. I was like, I'll just take it. I had a dot in there, and I was like, I'm just gonna make it cleaner and it looks better without the dot. So I took it out, and it's just Cyrus without the U, Blue spelled with the U. I'm there on Spotify, Cyrus Blue, with the U, not without the U. YouTube. Cyrus Blue with the U.
Are you on Apple Music?
Apple Music, yes. All these music streams.
All music streams.
And if you want to listen to my older music, this is more if you're a bigger fan of hip hop. If you want to listen to Afraid to Resurface, that's under Tabos, which is THABOS on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever else you listen to music. That's on there. So, yeah.
We're going to have his links in the description too, so y'all can definitely go find it. And we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
And until next time, you guys, please lock in with me to become great. Peace.